Emira, you know, you may make the argument that the United States needs to give more, but some people have said perhaps Trump will be good for the continent of Africa. It's time to scale down on foreign aid because in so many cases, African leaders who are in positions have proved that they do not necessarily put so much of their good help, good aid that comes from outside into good use. Some have pocketed some of this money. Perhaps the USAID money may not easily get into their pockets, but like it's time for them to start having some sense of discipline and organize better, utilize their resources even better to show that they're maturing. The countries are growing.
Yeah, well, a couple things on that, Vincent. First, I think we have to always remember that if you look at remittances, monies that are coming from the diaspora to the continent, remittances far outstrip aid and trade combined. Second, if you look at the outflows, the monies going out of the continent in capital flight to whether it's tax havens, we've seen now the Panama Papers, a series now of investigative reports, thanks to brilliant journalists around the world, including those on the continent, that have said more is flowing out of the continent than flowing in. So what is needed in places, whether it's Malawi or Ghana or Egypt or any of the countries, Kenya, is actually looking at those vital resources that are throughout the continent. You know, it is the oil, the liquefied natural gas, it is the mining. That is why Africa is so central,
So
not only to the U.S. and China, but to the world.
So therefore,
what happens is that, you know, those resources have to actually, you know, fuel the economies through its domestic resource mobilization.
Which makes a case for people like President Trump that
well,
the continent shouldn't be looking outward, you know, all the time. It's time to start putting into good use the resources within the continent and manage them better so that you can fund education, you can fund health care. Otherwise, why should you have the few powerful men enjoying good lives and their children studying abroad, their families going abroad for health care, but their people cannot?